that Islam has the same God as Christians do?
No.
Why?
Because in the Quran, Muhammad consistently says Jesus is not God. I, as a follower of Christ, worship Jesus as God.
But in the Bible, nowhere does it say that Jesus is God unless you interpret John 1:1 and John 1:14, where it says the Word became flesh, in the beginning was the Word was God, and the Word was with God. But Jesus never said blatantly, I am God. That's why it's like the messianic secret, right? And when God talked to Jesus, he said this is my son who I am with well pleased. So he's the son of God in the Bible, and that's all he's over portrayed as, even in his death as centurion, when he said this man was surely the son of God. And so where in the Bible does it say Jesus is God, excluding John 1:1 and John 1:14?
John 8:58, Jesus says, before Abraham was born, I am. The Jews did not call God G-O-D. They called him Yahweh, Jehovah, which is the Hebrew verb to be. I am who I am. Very deliberately in John 8:58, Jesus says, before Abraham was born, I am. No misunderstanding among the Jews. They understand it as the sin of blasphemy. That he, a mere man, would have the audacity to claim to be God in human form is unacceptable. John chapter 10, verse 30, Jesus says, I and the Father are one. Once again, no misunderstanding. The Jews pick up stones to stone him for blasphemy. After his resurrection, the disciples say to Thomas, we saw Jesus risen from the dead. Thomas says, I'm sorry, not unless I can see him with my own eyes, not unless I can take my hand and put them in the nail prints in his hands, will I believe. One night, Jesus stands right in front of Thomas and says, right here, my man, take your hands and put them in the nail prints in my hands. Take your hand and thrust it in a spear wound in my side. And Thomas stopped doubting and believed. Thomas hits the floor and says, my Lord and my God. And Jesus says, you believe because you've seen. Blessed are those who will believe even though they've not seen.
Okay, but an argument to that. So what about when I think it was Matthew and Mark, where he says, my God, why have you forsaken me? Why would Jesus, if he is God, right? Tell God, why have you forsaken me? I mean, it makes more sense if he was the Son of God telling God, hey God, why do I have to suffer? Why do I have to have this pain?
You're getting at a very difficult, good issue, which is the incarnation. How God became a human being. That's a mystery. I can't explain exactly how God becomes a human being. But what is crystal clear from the New Testament is Jesus was totally a human being. He was tempted. He suffered. When they nailed him to the cross, those nails went through flesh, bone, blood, nerve ending, and he really died on that cross. But also he claimed to be more than a man. He claimed to be God in human form.
But Jesus never claimed to be God in human form.
Absolutely. He claimed to be human, and he also claimed to be God.
But
God in human form.
But throughout the gospel, it says that he is the Son of God.
Yeah, God the Son.
Yes.
That's right. But he's also, by calling himself the Son of God, he's claiming to be God.
Okay. So do you believe that Christians don't believe in the Trinity, and the ones that do you believe in the Trinity, at the end of the day, do you think that it really matters?
Yes, it matters. Because if I deny the deity of Christ, I am denying Christ.
But how are you denying the deity of Christ if you're still saying he's the Son of God?
Well, if you mean he's God in human form, good, you're agreeing with him. But if by saying he's the Son of God, you're saying he's just like this fella and this fella, we're all sons of God, then you're denying his unique claim to be God in human form.
But you're using the gospel hypothetically. If you say he's the Son of God, throughout the gospels it says he is the Son of God.
Okay, ma'am, it comes down to this. I got a real problem with my believing that God is or Jesus is a 6-foot 1-inch white male. See, that's creating God according to my likes, my prejudices. The challenge for me in getting to know a person is to allow the person to be unique, to be you, and not to recreate you according to what I would like you to be. Same thing true with God. I can't create God in my own likeness according to my own dictates, my own prejudices, my own biases. If I'm going to get to know God, I got to have the humility to allow God to be God. And if God reveals himself by becoming a man in Jesus, I've got to accept that. If he's not reliable, then I'd be a fool to put my faith in Christ.
Welcome to Terlumun Apologetics.